All right, we are live. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Welcome to the Booked Since the 90s Book Club live show for playing Bad Heroines.
Yay.
Mine's all shiny from library coffee. Do we want to just start off by introducing ourselves? And I think Felisa's frozen.
I think she is too.
Oh no.
I was like, it's not like her to not react.
Maybe
Sarah's here.
Okay, I can just introduce myself.
Okay.
Hi everyone, I'm Steph from Steph's Bookish World. Yeah, my YouTube channel basically consists of TBR game. I do a lot of like recent reads, vlog, a lot of like specific book type vlogs. And yeah.
My name is Bailey from the channel Bailey Nicole Reads, and I mainly do reading vlogs and journaling videos. And I want to start doing wrap-ups again because I was like, oh, I'm going to do a mid-year wrap-up, but then I read like 80 books by the time that came around. So I was like, never mind. But yeah, that's mainly what my channel is.
Oh no, what is happening?
Nice.
When we're actually having technical difficulties.
Right? Well, my name is Jess. If anyone's joining in from a different channel, I mainly do like TBRs, vlogs. I'm starting to do book specific or like themed vlogs, and then I do book hauls, tags, all that fun stuff. So
nice.
Hopefully, Felisa can pop in here soon.
Yeah, and Justine's having internet issues, so she may or may not join us. We do not know yet.
Yes. Sarah's here.
Yes, Sarah, we know you have to talk about this book.
Yay, there's Felisa.
All right.
Y'all, my internet just crazy, and I was like, oh no.
You look a lot clearer now, so I think that's good.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Do you want to introduce yourself and your channel?
Oh, sure. So I'm Felisa from Felisa Renee. I do reading vlogs, bullet journaling, and other little fun booktube stuff. So hi, y'all.
Cool. So I don't know where we want to start, just spoiler free, because I know that some people haven't read this book, but maybe we should start off with like what we rated it and brief thoughts, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not going to go first. I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. I haven't rated it yet.
Yeah.
I was literally waiting until after this discussion to rate it because I don't know what to think about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have no rating.
Really?
Yeah, I have no rating. Okay. Not even an ounce of an inkling.
Really?
Yeah.
Like, as in you didn't like it? You're like, this was the worst book ever, that I don't even want to rate it, or that you just have zero idea what you want to rate it?
Like, I just have zero idea. Like, I know that it didn't need to be 600 pages. I know that.
Yes.
But I don't know.
Yeah.
Felisa, do you want to go?
So I wound up landing on a 3.75 with this one. And I just came up with that yesterday. I was like, you're going to have to sit down and figure it out. So that's what we came to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's really funny that you guys say that you didn't rate it, because I also had a very hard time coming up with my rating. Like right when I finished it, I think I like just put it away and didn't think about it for a couple of days. And I also settled on a 3.75 as well.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Justine's here in the comments. She has no rating either. Interesting. I've actually never had that issue with a book before. I've never been able to not come up with a rating. So it's, I don't know if it's a good thing to like show like how kind of complex this book was, or I don't really know, or just how not good it was that you're just like, I don't know what to rate this.
Yeah.
Sarah's had a hard time with it, but she's going to go with a 3.75. But
the overall consensus.
yeah, but the discussion might change it.
It always does.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to wait. I think I'm in the 3-star realm for sure, but I just don't know if it's like a high, mid, or low 3-star.
I feel like I'll probably end up rating it like a 3-star, just like flat out, because just like average, I guess. I don't know. Yeah.
So briefly, like, why do you think, Bailey, that you couldn't come up with a rating? Like, what in the story?
I just think that I literally had like no thoughts. Like, I wasn't like, oh my goodness, this is the best book ever. But I also wasn't like, oh my goodness, this was the worst book ever. I was just like, okay. I just read thousands of words. And like, that's it. Like, I don't know. It was a very like, I don't even know. Just like a very, just didn't give me anything. It just like didn't give me anything.
Yeah.
Why did you guys choose a 3.75?
So, for me, the 3.75 comes from, it's like a lot of factors. So like primarily, I did enjoy the story. Like as I was reading it, I was definitely, like I just kept wanting to see where the story was going to go. So it was very enjoyable, to read it. And I really, really liked the different aspects of the time periods that we're following and the present day, how they're kind of relating back to things that we also get to read about, as the reader. So the actual story itself was very enjoyable. So if I enjoy a story, like it's pretty much an automatic at least 3 stars for me. And then I think the 0.75 just comes from the whole, like there's such a creepy atmosphere to this book because they keep making mentions to like the Yellow Jackets and just certain things that just keep getting mentioned, but nothing is really explained. So I love the like atmosphere and vibe of the book. So I think that's where that comes from. The reason that I don't rate it higher, and not to get into spoilers, I just was so unsatisfied with the conclusion of the book. Like I just felt like nothing really happened. And like Bailey said, 600 pages for what? I feel like that this book could have been written a lot shorter with just a more like satisfying conclusion.
What about you, Elisa?
I agree with what Steph was saying. I feel like I really like this one because I feel like it has like a contemporary feel to it, and I love me some contemporary books. So I know like in the beginning it really had that feel to it, but I felt like I love a lot of different characters and like different perspectives, but it was just like in the beginning it was a little overwhelming for me, which is why like, you know, my rating was like dropping a little bit more because there was like moments when, you know, they'll say, make sure you remember this name. And then like, why, you know, so I thought going that route would help me like choose the right characters to stay focused on. So I was like a little tangled up. So I would say like until I guess like 3 days before they were officially finna start like shooting, I found like caught on with this book. But that ending just, yeah, that wasn't really it. It wasn't for me, but I did like enjoy this creepy factor like going throughout it the whole time because it really didn't spook me out a lot, and that's good because I'm a baby, but I still enjoyed it.
Which it wasn't as creepy as I was expecting it to be.
Yeah, like, there was just like a few scenes that I was like, oh, kind of like grossed out, but yeah. Yeah, I'm kind of the same as you guys, whereas I found it was like a lot of work for me to read this book. Like I had to work so hard to read a book and pay attention. And I think a lot of it is due to the writing style because it's not often where I read something like this. It's like, it reminded me a lot of, have you guys watched Bridgerton? And it's like, attention readers, that kind of thing. It's like that kind of writing style. And so it's very hard to actually read. It's easier to listen to. So that's why I'm wondering if like the audiobook would have been better. But I also found that I just disregarded the footnotes at like past 200 pages because I was like, these aren't really pertinent to the information. Few of them were, but like I thought it was a little bit of overkill. Yeah, but I think I also agree that the ending, I felt like it was just building up and I was really excited to see where it was going. And I thought it was going to be this huge reveal and it just wasn't. And I was like, okay. Not really satisfying.
Which it didn't go the way that I thought. Like it literally took a completely different turn than what I was expecting.
Yeah, we'll talk about, because I'm interested to see where you guys thought it was gonna go, because I honestly read it like 2 weeks ago, so I don't really remember where I thought it was gonna go. But yeah, I just thought it was very underwhelming.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Justine says she was gonna wait until after our discussion to rate it. And it didn't need to be 600 pages, as Bailey said.
Literally the title of my blog.
Yeah. I feel like this book was doing so much that it was overwhelming and it made me hard to rate it. Yeah. Oh.
I didn't
Yeah, I liked the time jumps. I thought they were like, I thought they meshed together quite well, and that they equally had creepy things happening. And I thought that, I thought that they reflected each other very well.
See the time jumps?
Especially at the end.
Yeah, where I feel like it tied together at the end pretty well.
Because it took me so long to read the book, though, like I felt whenever I would pick it back up, I would forget which time I was in, like where I was reading from, you know, unless it was the story of like Harper, like that whole time period, like I could keep that one straight, but then I kept on like I don't know, I was so confused.
Which timelines did you guys like better?
I think I liked the like 2000s timeline, like the Harper one.
Yeah, I think I'm the same.
Yeah, it was too confusing a little bit in the middle, I think, is where I got confused with the other timeline until it really focused
on like bringing them together.
Yeah, like when it focused on who was it, Libby and Alex. I feel like I was able to follow that timeline better.
Yeah, I think I enjoyed the current timeline, like the 2000s timeline, the first half, and then the second half, I think I enjoyed the 1900s timeline in the second half.
Yeah.
This book was honestly so subtly terrifying. I feel like it creeped up on you. There were definitely some scenes that were a little disturbing. The ending was super underwhelming. I think if it was different, I would have probably rated it a 4. Yeah, definitely the ending dropped it for me for sure. And Justine says she liked Harper's timeline. And interesting. And Sarah thinks she liked. I think Libby and Alex's timeline was confusing because they kept going forward and backwards in time. Yeah.
That was such a mind like fuck for me, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do we have anything else spoiler free to talk about?
I really liked the illustrations throughout the book as well.
Yes.
That was like a very, very cool addition to the story. And I don't know, did you guys all listen to it on audio?
Yeah.
Oh, no. You didn't, Jess?
No, I just read it physically.
Okay, because I think that's why you had a problem with the footnotes then, because I feel like the audiobook, like the narrator just reads the footnotes kind of throughout the story.
Oh, okay.
And it's almost like, I don't know if we all had the same like narrator. It was like a female, and she kind of almost like you knew when she was reading the footnotes because like just the way that it flowed, it was really good. So.
Oh, Yeah, it wasn't available on my library as an audiobook.
Okay.
Because
Did
I
you-
read audio
Sorry,
and
go ahead.
physically.
Oh,
I
you
read
did?
audio and physically. Like I did both. Like I read the first
Same.
200 pages like physically, and then something told me to check my library because I checked before and they didn't have it, and then I just like randomly checked one day and they had it, and so I was like, yep. I was like, there's no way that I'm gonna be able to get through this.
Yeah. Did you guys think, so for this being our dark academia theme, do you think that it fit that? Or no?
Kinda, but not really.
I think it did.
I've honestly never read dark academia, so I don't know. I don't think I've read much, but like it was definitely dark, but I didn't think that there was much of a school aspect to it.
Yeah.
Because they were pretty much centered in Libby's house the whole time. It was only when you got flashes of the girls at the beginning of the book that they were at the school.
Yeah.
And even then they weren't really like at the school. Like they were like in the meadow and like around the school
Mm-hmm.
in the woods.
Yeah.
So was the orangery part, like that was part of the school too, though, right? Like that's a separate like part of it. Okay.
Yeah. Justine listened to on audio. Sarah went back and forth between physical and audio. And oh yeah, that's a good point. She says she's more gothic than dark academia. I agree.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Because I thought that this was also classified, if I look at the Goodreads tags, I thought it was also classified as horror. Yeah, it's like the top genre is horror. So Steph, you being the horror expert, do you agree with that tag?
I wouldn't classify it as horror, but I can see why it's put there. Like why that tag is put there for sure. Like some of the elements, specifically just like if I'm just coming up with something like no spoilers, but like remember when you sent that little like message to the group about the bathtub scene or whatever?
Yes.
Like certain things like that, those are like classic horror.
Yeah.
Like tropes basically. But as a like collective, I probably wouldn't classify it as a horror, but I can 100% see why that category is like why it's classified under that.
Yeah, it's just like comparatively to your books, it didn't have enough scenes in it to be classified as horror.
Right.
There's few and far between.
So is Gothic not a subgenre of horror, or is it its own thing? I feel like sometimes people say it is, and sometimes people say it isn't.
I don't know.
I don't know what the Gothic genre is. It is a subgenre of horror. It's a genre of literature and film that covers horror, death, and at times romance. So maybe horror is a subgenre of Gothic? I don't know.
I have no clue. I just threw that question out there.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Sure.
No, that's good. Yeah.
Yeah. It's also tagged as LGBTQ, which is like, I thought there was great LGBTQ rep in here.
Yeah.
I really liked it.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to get caught up on the comments here. I was expecting sitting in classrooms and lunch breaks, so I wanted more of the school setting. Yeah, when I first read the synopsis, I originally thought that we were following like the students that were around the people who died in the society. And then also like obviously the Hollywood current setting. But I didn't think that we were going to like follow the principal and a teacher.
Yeah, like I didn't even read the synopsis for the book. Like the only thing I knew about it going in is that it's pitched as like a book within a book within a book. So that's kind of all I knew, really.
Yeah. Justine agrees.
I didn't know
with
we'll be
Sarah.
outside so much either, even though like I get it was wasps or whatever. Well, what are these things? The yellow whatever.
The yellow jackets.
Yes, yellow jackets. They call them wasps those too sometimes. I feel like that was confusing me too because I am terrified of wasps. So it'll hit different when they use that word instead of yellow jackets.
The yellow jackets reminded me, like when they described it, I was like, this reminds me of those bees in the Hunger Games where like they stung you, like those tracker jackers. Yeah, that's what they reminded me of. This would be a good introduction to horror, in Justine's opinion.
Yeah, no, that's a fair statement for sure.
Yeah. I feel like people could classify it as horror because it's technically like Gothic horror, so it's a bit more subtle than an outright jump scare is high tension. Everyone in this book was gay. I was so here for it. Yes. All right. Anything else before we get into the spoilers?
No, I think we're good.
I also don't know how to put up a banner. How do I do that?
If you go to the side, I think where it says like comments, all that, you'll see banner on the right
banners.
side.
Yeah.
Steph's like the professional StreamYard tech over here.
I'm pretty sure in my live I just typed spoilers in the comments and then just like had it.
Oh, really?
Okay. Sarah, I'm curious if you finished. Like, did you finish the book?
Oh yeah, because last time she updated, she hadn't finished it yet.
I think she had like quite a few hundred pages to go. So
I thought like last time she updated, I thought it was like 186 or something like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it wasn't too bad, but yeah, I'm curious because she said that she did rate it, so I'm assuming that she did read it.
Yeah, she probably finished it.
Yeah. All right, what do we want to start off with spoilers?
I didn't think so. I was expecting someone to die, but I wasn't expecting it to be Evelyn.
That's the old one, right?
Yeah.
The old, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Like, I thought it was going to be like one of the main, like Harper, or like one of them that was going to die. Like, I feel like I was kind of disappointed that everyone survived.
Yeah. Especially when everything was so creepy, and then in the past stories, like when it flicked back to the 1900s, you had the two girls die, Flo and Clara. Yeah, and then the girl that followed them around, and then Alex. So yeah, I thought that for the present, so I thought that was going to also reflect in the 2000s timeline, and it only had Evelyn die.
And
yeah,
I want to is her name Misty? I'm trying to think. I think the girl whose name started with the M. I want.
Oh, Merritt? Is that who you're talking about?
I think Valisa's voice sound just stopped working.
But yeah, how did we Merritt?
I did not like Merritt.
I really don't like her in the first half. She kind of like warmed up to me in the second half, but even still, I was like, I don't trust you at all.
I just thought she was annoying. I was literally, you can't gatekeep your book that is someone else's story that they're turning into a movie.
Yeah. I did not like her.
Yeah. And I didn't like the relationship with Harper either, because I felt like it was very like weird and kind of forced.
Yeah, it was super forced. And I was like, how did this happen? Like, I just feel like it was so out there.
It was they just didn't seem like they'd be interested in each other almost. But
yeah.
like at the same time, Merritt kind of knew the type of person that Harper was. And then they go on the date and she gets like, she's just like, okay, well, I'm never going to speak to her again. And then doesn't talk to her for like so long. And I'm just like, you already knew what you were getting into with this. Like, it was just strange.
And she only did that because Audrey was cast as Clara.
Right. Which can we talk about that? Like,
Yes.
I thought that there was going to be something more coming from that, because we had what was the director's name? Bo,
yeah.
Yeah.
So we had Bo that like Audrey literally butchers the audition, like does terribly. And there was like something that happened between Bo, like there was a conversation, and then it was decided that it was like, no, Audrey's the right one for this. And I just thought that we were going to get something from that. And I just don't feel like anything really came of that. They were just like, no, you're good for it. And then she just did it.
Yeah. I wanted like more of an explanation as to why she was good for it. I think it was because she's so I think it was her reactions when she wasn't acting, because that's what they wanted, because they were also filming them in their real life, like they were doing like a double thing, like a Blair Witch Project kind of thing.
Yeah, but it came out after that all three of them were
I
in,
know.
which like
I didn't
makes no
understand that.
sense, which it makes no sense because
like what was real and like what wasn't.
Right.
Yeah.
That's literally it, because you have Harper who was doing it to both Merritt and Audrey. Then Audrey set up to do it to both of them, and they all think that they're the only ones that are doing it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was very.
It like that just made me feel, anyways, that the book was like disingenuous, that everything was just put on for a show, that none of it was real.
Right.
You know. Whereas I wish that we had some explanation as to what was real and what wasn't.
But
what
then
they put on show.
It's also weird because they were hearing like the buzzing, and like there were yellow jackets that like popped up like in Audrey's sink at her house, even though everything else was like staged.
Yeah.
So it was like weird. I don't know.
I think that might be like the horror element as well, though, too, right? Like it's like everything is set up, but then there's certain unexplained things. So it's the idea of not knowing what's really real and what's staged, which kind of makes it like that build up and kind of a little bit more scary.
Yeah.
And I thought her mom would like have a bigger role. Like they kept, the emphasis about her face, and like she used to do horror movies, and then she was just kind of like a stage mom, pretty much. Telling her, "Girl, you can do it. Take a role." Like she really didn't do it.
Like they set her up really nicely, and then just didn't execute it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah.
I'm trying to catch up on the comments here. Oh, girl, I had like literally 60% of the book to read the last day of the month.
I had to just yell at her on Instagram.
Justine was expecting any main character to die. Yeah. I thought they were going to parallel Alex and Audrey, so I was expecting their stories to align a bit.
Because they had the whole thing where it was like two mothers and a child with the house, when they like revealed that it was cursed or whatever, because the girl that was murdered by the two brothers was like cursing the land, because it was supposed to be two mothers and a child.
Mm-hmm.
And so I kind of expected like one of the like either Merritt, Audrey, or Harper to die, and then them end up staying to kind of relive the whole two mothers and a child type situation.
Yeah, I honestly don't even remember what my predictions were, because I read it so long ago. So I don't even know like what I expected. I just know that I suspected Evelyn was her. No, what was the girl's name? That it was like the person who, like the family.
Burkons?
Yeah. Like what was her name? The reveal.
Like the
original
maid.
girl,
the one that died.
I don't know how I'm not.
Yes.
Mary Maclean. Is that who you're talking about?
No, I'm talking
Yeah.
about
Like
Livy's daughter.
I was like, I got you, Jess.
I got you. Just kidding.
And it's like, no.
I also want to come back to the whole Mary Maclean thing.
Okay.
But the big reveal at the end, where it was like this family, it was like wasn't it the people who stayed on the land?
Jonathan and Samuel.
Eckharts. I'm so confused with this book. I thought it was the Eckharts, like the maid, the groundskeeper, and then their son married that girl that got really close with Libby, and Alex didn't like her. Did I make all this up?
Carolyn.
Yeah, I think that's her name. The one that came all possessed in the bathroom scene.
Isn't it Sarah?
No, Addie.
Yeah, Addie. Wait, that's the thing in this book. There are so many freaking names that I got so confused.
You're talking about Addie.
Yes.
Okay.
I thought it was her. I thought it was that family. I think that's what my prediction was. I was like messing all that stuff up. Anyways, sorry, that was a whole.
What was that other girl's name? The other maid? Because the daughter was Ava. That was the daughter's name. Like Libby's daughter was named Ava, which they did reveal at the end.
Yes. Yeah. I did not think it was her.
Oh yeah, there was that whole plot point of her with, is it Simon? What was the guy's name? Henry? No.
Simon.
Her husband?
Because it ended up being Simone. Because it was Simone.
Right.
Was the lady that was the original owner of the house.
Right.
Who got buried.
Yeah.
For that girl to like use magic or whatever to like Simon, whoever, to get her pregnant. Yes. So she would come back, have Ava, and then be there with the other maid girl whose name I can't remember.
Yeah.
And they would live out the two mothers and a kid fantasy.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm glad that's all resolved.
Okay, that makes sense. I had no clue what was going on. I'm sorry.
Does it make sense though? Because I'm like, I think I read the same book as everybody, but I just
I know.
Did we read the same book?
So wait, I just want to clarify. So the Eckharts, like the people who lived and did like work on the grounds and the maid and whatever, they had nothing to do with it, correct?
Yeah, correct. I think they were just there.
That I thought that they did have something to do with it. That's
but
what
the one girl did. The other one girl.
Yes.
I don't remember her name.
Yeah, because Alex was right about her. I don't know. This whole book, let me tell you.
And there's too many pages to be trying to flip through to find people.
Yeah.
She should have had a family tree. That's what should have helped.
Yes.
Yes.
That would have been a really cool illustration, I think.
Oh, Hannah.
That's the
mom dies though.
Hannah dies?
I think so.
I think she dies eventually, like it's just a natural death.
No, because Hannah was the one that killed Alex. Because Alex was running towards her at the top of the stairs, and then she like pressed herself up against the wall. So that way Alex would like go past her.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember that scene.
Oh, yeah.
I wrote here that like Libby's dealing with the death of Alex, and then Hannah's also dead. So I don't know. Sarah is Hannah dead as well?
I don't know. Let's try and figure out. Okay, hold on. Oh yeah, Sarah's just hold on. I gotta catch up on Sarah's comments here. Oh yes, we'll come back to the scene.
Okay.
Oh, this is about her tying Alex and Audrey together. So because that scene of Alex and the trifle, at the end, Hannah says something about her not feeling well, and then Merritt says the same thing to Audrey in the present timeline. Oh yeah, I didn't even tie those two things together. Okay. Let's try and skip to what we were just talking about. Okay. There's Elaine.
Which is the old lady.
I think Sarah was just trying to give us what we were asking for.
Yeah.
We just weren't listening
Simone,
to her.
Ava. There's a million Brooke Haunts.
Yeah.
Oh, who is Adelaide?
Is the girl from the bathtub scene.
Yes.
Okay. Yes.
Doesn't she?
Yeah.
She has the fever. She's
Yeah.
the one
Yes.
that's sick with the fever and is married to Max, I'm pretty sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
And she did have something to do with it, right?
I think she did, but she didn't.
Okay. Like
I think she did, but like unwillingly.
Yeah.
Because of Hannah was the main like mastermind behind it.
Right. Sorry, Sarah. Oh, and then yeah, Sarah just finished it yesterday, so this is fresh in her mind. Okay. And then it says, well, technically it is because Adelaide was a Verrett. Because she married into the Eckhart family. So I think, yeah, because she was a Verrett from France is where she came from. And that's like where that other family is, correct?
I guess.
The Simone Everett family?
Yeah, because it was, Simon Everett was the baby daddy name.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Hannah is in Eckhart. And it's Adelaide that was the Verrett, the bad one. So, okay, yeah. So Adelaide.
Wait, so who pushed her out?
Wait. Yeah, that's what I was just about to ask. Yes, Sarah, please do a synopsis for us. Let's just have you on the show and then you can
just add her to the stream.
Yes.
I'm confused, so I'm sorry, y'all.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I'm just like going over my like synopsis of the chapters.
Okay.
But like
I legit just sent Sarah an invite. I'm like, special guest Sarah for our Books Since the 90s live show. Because I need this explained. I feel like this is not. Okay. Where's the confusion? Hannah was friends with Harold. Who's Harold?
Was the
owner.
The man, the old man.
Right. And that's how Addie found out about the Eckharts. Okay, so okay. Oh yeah, she's coming on.
Help us, please.
I can't believe how confusing this is. This just proves why I couldn't come up with a rating because I literally had zero idea what was happening.
It's one of these like there's just so much going on.
Yeah. Because I feel like I was paying attention so much to things that weren't important that I lost what was actually happening that I had to pay attention to.
Mm-hmm.
Because I literally felt when I was reading it, I was just guessing the whole time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because we watched the whole scene where Libby gets sent out into the ocean from Ava's point of view.
Yes. Oh, here she is.
I'm sorry, I look atrocious. I'm like so oily and greasy.
Girl,
I'm not
fantastic.
prepared for this. Okay, I'm dying. Okay. So what do we need to talk about? What do we
I want to know who pushed Libby out to the ocean. Like, who pushed her out?
That was Adelaide. Addie.
Okay.
She was the one. So Addie is a Verette. Madame Verette is the like French lady who was friends with Harold when her and Harold went to go talk to Libby to try to get her to move to Brookhaunts and marry him. And they would do like seances together. And so because he was building Brookhaunts, he knew about Simone, which was the lady that was killed by the brothers. He knew about her. And so he was like trying to do seances to reach her, and he wanted a child to like, I don't know, like hold her power or something. So that's why he wanted Ava, the little girl. And so because Libby didn't want the like a child, that's why Ava was sent to France, and she grew up with the Verettes. So like Addie is like there. I don't know what she was trying to do in Brookhaunts, but like she was there on purpose. And Hannah's just kind of like was friends with Harold and helped do the seances and stuff. And I think that's how Addie found out like her way in, you know what I mean? To like get in with everyone, if that makes sense. I feel like that was the vibe.
So how old, or did Ava have anything to do with like the sketchy stuff, or was it all Addie?
No, so Ava's the little girl. Ava's like the daughter.
Oh,
So,
okay. I didn't know if she like grew up at any point and then like came back.
No. So I don't know how old she's supposed to be at the point that Libby dies, but like she's definitely like, I would say probably like 8 years old. Like she's a child. And so she doesn't have anything to do. She just like grew up with the Verettes. So like that's kind of like her family. Like the Brookhaunts aren't really their family.
Addie wanted Libby to be, she wanted them to be the two moms.
Yeah, she wanted them to be like that little family, and so that's why she wanted to kill Alex. Like that's why she was like, I don't know if it's like because so like Simone, the lady who died and who like put the curse on the land, like she's a Verette, like that was her last name. And so Addie is like a descendant of her. So I don't know if it's one of those things of like, oh yeah, like we want to do this whole little like two moms, a child fantasy thing. So therefore like she was, I think they do like black magic like type of thing, like they're like witches. And so that's kind of how like Alex ended up going crazy and everything, because she was like seeing things and she was seeing delusions because of like this curse, this like family curse, like trying to get rid of her kind of situation.
And so is that why Audrey was kind of going crazy?
I don't know. See, so like that's why I thought there was gonna be more of a parallel between like Alex and Audrey, because I feel like Alex was the one who was going the most crazy, and then so was Audrey, like in the present day. But I don't. The present day is honestly more confusing to me because I feel like weird shit was just happening to them, like, and that was that.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
What was with the doll? Like, remember she was in the tree and she like moved her arm, and they freaked out about her like having the doll and stuff.
Well, yeah, there was the farmer's market or the fair or whatever it was they went to.
Yeah,
where one of the Verettes was there at the.
It was Addie. That was Addie.
Addie.
Yeah, and she like showed Alex the dolls, and was trying to get Alex not to mess with Libby, I think, so that way she could have Harold come in and get Libby or something like that.
Yeah, I have a feeling it was like, because I think in the last chapter when Libby's trying to get rid of the dolls that Ava has, I think she said that the last doll that she was going to burn or do whatever with was Ava. Like it showed Ava. So I don't know if it's supposed to be some sort of like, you know, like weird, like black magic, like type of thing, like a curse kind of object.
Because I'm pretty sure when they first bought the dolls, was it Libby that was looking at them?
I thought it was Alex at this fair because
Yeah,
Libby was with that girl named Sarah, and then
Mhm.
Alex was getting all jealous, and then
Yeah.
that Addie stopped her. But
Yeah.
Alex at the time didn't know that it was Addie.
Yeah, she didn't know. Because I think she was like had a costume on. Like
Oh, okay.
I think she was kind of like in a disguise. So then when she met Addie, I think she didn't like put two and two together that it was her.
Yeah. But I also have in my notes here, like, I don't know what the take is on this. So Libby drowns and her body is never found.
Mhm.
And then it says, like, I wrote that there's a photo that resurfaces like years later that has like a woman who looks like Libby.
Mhm.
So what's the take on that then?
I think it's supposed to be something that's just like up in the air. Like I think it's supposed to be like that kind of like, oh, is she dead? Is she not? Kind of thing.
Right.
I think it's meant to just be like mysterious. I don't know.
Yeah, mysterious in the fact like maybe she's in France living with Sarah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's interesting because I feel like everything just goes back to France. So then I'm like, is Libby kind of cursed? Because if Libby's in France and then the red carpet, that's like the last chapter with like Harper, Mary, and Audrey and all them, they're like hearing the Yellow Jackets and everything like around them, and they're in France at a music festival, or sorry, music festival, at a film festival, whatever.
Oh, I didn't realize they were in France at the time.
Yeah, they're in France. So maybe
I had no idea.
Did you guys read the book? I'm just kidding.
Apparently not, because.
But I also feel like at the end of the book, I was so done. I was like, okay, the twist is revealed. I didn't really pay attention to the red carpet chapter.
Yeah. So they're in France for the film festival. And so like I don't know if maybe it's supposed to be something like that. Like maybe now like Libby has the curse or something. You know what I mean? Because then it's like, why are the Yellow Jackets following them there? Type of thing. I don't know. I think it's supposed to be this very like open-ended kind of ending.
Book. Yeah.
I also feel like it's a little bit of an unreliable narrator situation too.
Who was the narrator? Remember, she was like, at the end of this, you'll know me better than I know you.
Yeah, I said that at the beginning.
I think they're trying to allude it to being Merritt, because how Merritt was like, there's like a scene where it's like she's sitting there watching them film, and then she's writing about Bo Dylan, like it's like about his neck or something like that, like and she's writing little like parts of it, and then later on I think her and Harper and Audrey are all talking, and then they're talking about how she's basically writing like a fiction book, but it's basically about what they're doing.
Oh, that makes sense. Because remember, Evelyn was mad at her when she was talking about that man from the past that like wrote about their.
So I feel like we're like, it's supposed to be like alluding to it that it's Merritt who's like narrating.
I feel like if it's that, then this book would be the book that she was writing.
Yeah.
Yeah, while they were on set.
Okay. I think that's what it's supposed to be, because she's supposedly like in that last chapter, she says that she's like supposedly done with like writing her book, and like Audrey's read it and stuff. So I feel like that is, I don't know. I think that's what they're like trying to allude to.
I feel like now that I have this explained, I have a little bit more appreciation for this book.
I mean, like, that's why I feel like I had to like give it a bit higher rating, because like, well, honestly, I was scared. That shit scared me. But like, I feel like there was just so much effort put into this book, and this book is so complex in a way that like I still can't even fully grasp it, you know what I mean? That I feel like even if this book is a little bit much and it's definitely too long, I feel like, you know, you have to like appreciate the effort.
Yeah. What do you guys think was the most creepiest scene in the book?
The bathtub for me, because the narrator too, the way she was having her talk like really weird, and she was like, I don't know, and it was just
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah. I hated the trifle scene. The trifle scene, like the bath scene freaks me out, but the trifle one just like I don't know, the idea of like having like these like wings and like bits and pieces of a bug in your mouth, and like it was just like disgusting. I couldn't deal. And then there's a scene too, I think, where Audrey, that's why a similar thing happens to Audrey when she's drinking the water after they did whatever their drugs, and she's like taking out like the piece of like ugh.
You
Yeah,
said that there was like
yeah.
something on the gums or something. Yeah.
I
and
literally
they kind of
hated
blew
that.
her off too. They just let her run away. They were just like, okay, bye, girl.
Okay, I really thought she was gonna get attacked by yellow jackets at that point in time. Like I thought she would step into the nest, and then it would be like a whole like flowing Clara type situation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that would have been like a good opportunity for someone to die when they were on those drugs, for sure.
Yeah. I'm just upset that like nobody major died, like in the present day. I'm like, that's boring.
Yeah, because that like old lady died, but I'm like, she was like what, in her 93 or something like that?
Yeah, I literally skipped
So I was like,
chapter.
yeah, you've lived your life.
Yeah, I feel really bad. I completely skipped the chapter. I was like, I don't care. Like like I feel like this is such a pointless chapter. I don't care about her life.
Yeah.
I also found kind of weird how they left the Brookhaunt scene and went to like that whole concert thing. And what was supposed to happen there? You know, they just like got together in the bathroom because Merritt found out that Evelyn or whatever her name was died. Yeah, I don't know. I found that weird. And then they all just decided that they knew that they were all in on it the whole time.
Yeah, that scene was weird. I don't understand why it had to be at like a concert to her friend. Like it was strange.
Honestly, the whole book was just strange.
Honestly.
Yeah. What else?
I feel like the more that we talk about it,
this.
I feel like the more we talk about it, the more I'm liking it less.
Oh, interesting.
Really?
Yeah, because I'm like, literally, what was the point? Like, why did I read? Like, what was the point?
See, I'm kind of the opposite. I think kind of with Sarah explaining it and like realizing how much thought went into it. I think that I'm at like I don't want to reread it because it's over 600 pages. Like it's a lot, and it was like I left it like late, not as late as Valisa, but I left it to but that's your vibe. Valisa, that's your vibe though. Like you never change. I left it late, but like, and then I was like scared that I wasn't gonna be able to finish it. So I don't know if I'd ever reread it, but just like knowing all of the little like intricacies that I missed, it's very interesting actually.
I don't think I would recommend it.
I feel like I would recommend it if you definitely like let them know like what they're getting into. I feel like that's probably why I probably liked it a bit more than I thought I would, because I had already seen like Jess talk about it and like her vlogs and stuff, and she was like already talking about how really dense it was and everything. And then Bailey too, I think you started it before I did, and so I feel like hearing you guys talk about it, I was like, okay, this is going to be like a really intense kind of read. And so I feel like you just have to like warn them, because if you think it's like something entirely different, I can understand reading this and being like, what the fuck is this, you know?
This book, in a way, it kind of reminds me of like The Starless Sea. I don't know if you read that book before, but it's just like how dense it is and how complicated it is. And then like once you go back and read somebody else, it's like, wow, that was really a beautiful book. I'm not going to read it again. That was beautiful. That's the kind of vibes I get with this one.
Yeah. I feel like I could see myself rereading this like in the future, not the near future, but in the future, because I feel like it would be interesting after knowing what happens to like see, because I feel like there's probably a lot of stuff that's mentioned even from the beginning that like ends up kind of like pairing up and stuff. I feel like it's probably like a very clever book in that way.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I'd actually be
Yeah.
interested to check online to see like the comparisons and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Sorry, Valisa, I cut you off there.
Oh no, you're fine. I just said the more we talk about it, like it feels like a merit book. Like it feels like it's some. I keep coming from her because she upsets me. So it feels like she would have wrote something confusing and complex, and if you're not in it, then you just don't get it, type of thing.
Yeah, I completely agree. She's so pretentious, and this book is like pretentious in its own right.
Yeah, I had a prediction that it was Mary when it said at the beginning, "Oh, you'll know who I am by the end of this." I had a prediction. I was like, "Oh, this is gonna be Merritt," but then at the end, I just completely forgot about it because of how much other stuff was going on that I didn't understand. But yeah, now that I understand what's going on, I kind of appreciate it more.
Listen, I'm glad I could clear it up for you.
Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you.
I was raging in the comments. I was like, they're not paying attention to me, and they're all so confused.
Well, hopefully next month we won't have that problem.
Yeah, I feel like Arsenic and Adobo is going to be a little bit more straightforward.
Yeah, it'll be fine. It's a little cozy mystery. I feel like you guys will be fine.
Have you read it, Sarah?
No, I haven't. I'll probably read it this month. Yeah, I'm trying to get in on that cozy mystery game.
Yeah.
Sarah, are you participating in the Magical Readathon? I know that's like random, but
I want to. I'm gonna stop giving myself TBRs because I was really stressed in August. Like August was a stressful time for me, but I want to. I'm gonna like kind of like do it myself and just like kind of see if like what I'm reading fits into it. But I want to, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I don't even gonna make a special video for it or anything. I would like to, but I just don't think I have the time.
Yeah, I feel like I'll probably end up doing like I want to do it so that I'm prepared for like the second part in April when you're actually like at the school or whatever, and I'll probably do like more dedicated stuff for that.
Yeah.
Nice.
I feel like there's so much more to talk about with this book, but at the same time, I feel like I feel like our confusion being covered is pretty much sums up the book.
Oh my gosh, Sarah, you say you finished this book yesterday?
Yes.
That's the first. Girl.
I know.
There's a map. You already completed a prompt. I'm just saying.
Listen, you're correct. Oh my God, stop.
So you're already farther ahead than me on this
Lisa,
journey.
your mind. All right, I'm adding it. I was gonna save it because I was gonna be like, listen, I finished on 1st of September, so I'm gonna put that in, like my August wrap up. I might have to put my September. I mean, I did finish like basically half the book yesterday.
I would count it.
Yeah, I would count it.
I literally was like just nonstop, like day and night, listening to the audio, reading it, and then listen to the audio and like do other stuff and then read it. I was like, I need to finish this before the live show because I need to talk to someone about this.
Well, I'm happy that you did. Otherwise, I feel like this whole discussion would have just been so confusing.
That was so funny. Listen, I'm glad I could be here to help.
Yes, love it.
Jess, I think you said you wanted to say something about Mary Maclean.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I thought that Mary, because who is Mary Maclean? I don't think that the story of what her book, that the Plain Bad Heroine Society was surrounded around, was even explained really what it was about. Or did I just miss it?
I think it was like vaguely explained throughout. Like it was like subtly explained in like conversations between like Libby and Alex, or like, you know, like little things here and there. There was like droppings about it.
Because I know Bailey mentioned it was a real book.
Yeah, yeah. Which I think that it was basically, like written in 1902, like by Mary Maclean. Yeah. Like real person, everything.
Yeah, because I think there's even a part in it where the narrator talks about how, like, because clearly, like, the book I think even her book was talking about like her love for like women and stuff like that. But then like I think later on down the line, the narrator talks about how when she's older, she is like homophobic and like makes comments about that. So I think she's like a real person, but she was just like a young teenager writing about like her feelings for women, about how hard it is to be, you know, it was just like angsty teen stuff. And then like that's why, because Libby gave it to Flo and Clara to read, and then I think that's when they were like, oh my god, Bible, you know, and then they like formed the Plain Bad Heroines Society.
Which literally throughout the whole thing, it had me thinking the book was cursed.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, and this is a real book. Like,
yeah. I remember when Bailey told me, I was like, oh, I don't want to read this anymore.
Yeah.
Well, there was also the part, I don't know if it was ever like talked about or if it's even important, but I think it was Libby that removes the page.
Yeah, because it has like hints of Sarah.
Right. Like, is that ever like revisited, or like, I know that was it Alex that found out? Like, she does end up finding out. Like, does that play any part in it?
Well, because I thought that she went upstairs to find the page, and I thought that that's when Alex fell. Was it not? Or am I?
Well, because
Alex.
Go ahead.
No, I think one of the cleaning girls found it. Remember, they said they found it in the book and rushed to give it to Alex.
Yeah,
but I don't know Addie. Who was that?
I think it was Addie who found it. I think, like, if I remember correctly, I don't know if I'm remembering correctly, but I think Libby finds out about that after Addie dies, because I think that's part of why she like spirals and starts going crazy or something. Because I don't think
I thought Addie was poisoning her with the leaves from that tree.
Juicy.
Yeah, that's how the one girl died.
Yeah.
Wasn't it?
Oh yeah.
So she was taking bites out of the leaves, and so she was having hallucinations.
No, the girl that Audrey was supposed to play, supposed to be cast as. I forget what her name was, like in 1902, where she like was following around the two girls that died.
Oh, Elaine.
And she like.
No, sorry, not no. Elaine's the old lady. Eleanor.
Yes.
You thought that you thought that someone was poisoning her?
No, so because Eleanor used to sit under that tree with the leaves, and those leaves were poisonous. And when she died, she was surrounded by a bunch of those leaves that had bites taken out of them. And I think that Addie was using those leaves or that tree to poison Alex to make her have hallucinations.
Oh.
Because Eleanor had hallucinations before she died.
Yes. Listen, probably. That's
I like that theory.
Yeah, I was going to say that's probably very accurate.
Because before Alex went crazy, she had that pie that Addie had made her. And then she like really went off the deep end, and then she fell down the stairs.
Yes, 100%. Wow, yeah, that I feel like that's probably like true. Because I feel like Addie was just very much trying to get Alex out of the picture.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh
no!
What happened?
Like,
oh no!
Not with this book. You cannot.
I know. I'm like, stop. Curse. This book's cursed now.
I'm throwing it
out. Just swarmed by yellow jackets and killed instantly.
I know.
Thank you. And then there were 4.
Literally.
Yeah, she's like an author on Goodreads.
Who, Mary Maclean?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't like that.
It says Mary Maclean was a controversial Canadian-born American writer whose frank memoirs helped usher into the confessional style of autobiographical writing. Maclean was known as the Wild Woman of Butte. Maclean was a very popular author of her time, scandalizing the populace with her shocking best-selling first memoir and to lesser extent of her 2 following books. Yeah, so she was like, in her writing, she compared herself to another Frank Young writer, and she died a few years later after. Yeah, so she's died in 1929, and she was born in Winnipeg, Canada.
Wow.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
That's scary. I don't like that.
It's weird because like it literally had nothing to do with the book. Like,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's probably also too like a lot of it. Like the whole thing with like Caroline, like Audrey's mom and stuff. I feel like there's meant to be a lot of like red herrings throughout. That's like like you're thinking it's gonna go one way and then goes like somewhere completely different. Like I feel like that's probably the point.
Yeah.
Seems like something Merritt would do. So
Yeah.
That's why she should have died.
Yeah. But then this book would never have been written.
That's true. That's very true.
I love
we all
that.
confused.
Yeah, I definitely didn't like how many A names there were in this book. I thought it was super confusing.
Yeah, there's just a lot of names, period.
Yeah.
Because I was using my index, but once I got done with the second card, I said, I'm done. Anybody else, you don't matter.
Love that.
Cool. Well, is that it? Do we have any other thoughts? Have you settled on a rating, Bailey?
She's like 1.
I think I'm just gonna go with. Honestly, I just feel like I should leave it at no rating at this point because I'm just like, I don't feel like I can, like I don't feel like any rating that I give it will justify my experience.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, no. I don't even know because I like now that I'm sitting here 2 weeks later talking to you guys about it, I'm like, okay, I appreciate it a lot more. But then when I remember putting it down and being like, what did I just read? And why did I just read it? Yeah. So I feel like if I didn't have this discussion, it would probably be like a 2 stars. And then since I had this discussion, I think it's like 3.5.
Okay.
Which I feel like there's one point where I was like, if I wasn't reading this for book club, I think I would have DNF'd it.
Oh, 100% I would have.
Wow. And I
don't even think I would have DNF'd it. Like I agree with Steph. Like I was enjoying the story. Like I thought the story was like very interesting to me. I probably wouldn't have finished it so quickly, but I definitely feel like I wouldn't DNF it.
That's interesting because I feel like Bailey, you said the same about The Chosen and the Beautiful. So I'm curious. Like this has nothing to do with Plain Bad Heroines, but like out of all of our book club picks, like which is your favorite so far?
Oh, for sure. People we meet on vacation.
Yeah.
Like for sure. 100%.
Yeah. But Lisa, what about you?
It's gonna have to be The Chosen and the Beautiful. I'm sorry. Because I was going to say this one, then I remember I like Chosen and the Beautiful a little bit more.
No, like I actually love that you love that book. Or that you like maybe not love, but like that you really enjoyed it because like if all of us hated it, I would have like felt like meh.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
That is very interesting.
So for me, it's been like we've been either hit or miss on it. So hopefully next month's a hit, and then we'll just.
I think it will be.
Going.
I think we're all gonna enjoy, Arsenic and Adobo.
Yeah, I think so.
I don't think it's gonna like blow us away, but I definitely think.
I think it'll be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think A Dowry of Blood, though, that's gonna be the one that's gonna unite us all.
I'm excited to read that one.
I am so excited for that.
When I saw you guys chose it, I was like, yes, I really wanted to read that.
Yeah. I think that one's going to be a hit.
Yeah. All right. Well, is this it for the Plain Bad Heroines discussion?
Yeah.
I think so.
Cool. Well, thanks everyone for watching and coming along to discuss this book with us. It was so much fun and interesting to see what everyone's thoughts were, because
Thank you, Sarah, for
very
helping
different.
us through it.
Yes, thanks, Sarah,
Yes,
special
thank-
guest.
Thank you for having me. I'm
Yes.
sorry I look so atrocious. I was not prepared, but
You don't look
Stop.
atrocious at all. All right. Well, I'm just going to end the broadcast here.